Remember last week at the G7 summit in Biarritz, France, when Trump gave all these other G7 member state heads of state whiplash with his bullshit and his insanity. Why, and they have no choice but to listen to this fucker and be spun this way and then spun that, because he does control to a certain degree, a very important degree, with his fucking mouth, the largest economy in the history of the human species. It's still the largest, not for long, one hopes. But he declared, contrary to weeks of threats, that not only did the Chinese seem willing to sit down and come up with a trade deal and stop the tariff war, but he said he'd actually heard from China's top officials that very week. He said this. Remember, this is what he said. Quote, China called last night our top trade people and said, let's get back to the table. So we're getting back to the table. I think they want to do something. They've been hurt very badly, but they understand this is the right thing to do. And I have great respect for it. This is a very positive development in the world. I think we're going to have a deal. They called me. They called me twice. Now, at the time, you knew it was bullshit. I know you knew that. So did I. And at the time, China's foreign ministry said they had no idea what this orange fucker was talking about. The implication being that he'd made all that shit up to try to influence the stock market one way or the other. And then yesterday, CNN reported that this was exactly what happened. This is what CNN reported. Quote, though Trump and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, what a little troll that bastard is, insisted there had been communication, Trump's aides privately conceded the phone calls Trump described didn't happen. Instead, the two officials said Trump was eager to project optimism that might boost markets, and conflated comments from China's vice premier with direct communication from the Chinese. This rancid son of a bitch will lie, and does lie, about everything. Oh, Kim Jong-un and my wife Melania have come to know each other real well. She hasn't ever even fucking met the monster. She's got one monster to deal with. Why would she want to go meet another one? Trump lies about everything. Everything. Now, the report from CNN, it's being said, should come as a relief to the Chinese, who didn't know what the fuck Trump was talking about. The foreign minister of China, according to The Hill, foreign ministry spokesman Zheng Shuang said, quote, regarding the phone call in the weekend, I'm not aware of that. He went on, I can tell you clearly that I haven't heard of such a thing. End quote. But Trump told reporters, quote, we've had calls at the highest level, but I don't want to talk about that, end quote. Well, of course you don't, you lying son of a bitch. Of course you don't. Trump is increasingly aware, of course, that he's done little to entice the dumbasses that voted for him first time to vote for him again in 2020. And he's failed to follow through on just about every promise he made in 2016 to get elected. But all of those promises, even your humble and obedient servant here knew it was bullshit, the stuff that Trump was talking about, that he was going to do, except what he has succeeded in doing And everything he's succeeded in doing has a negative effect, not just on us in the United States, but ultimately on everybody on earth, because the things he's succeeded at doing are things to destroy any attempt to slow down the destruction of the Earth's biosphere, if you will. Trump is a madman unchained. He's a fucking killer. He's being allowed to do what he's always wanted to do. Knock the shit out of everything and everybody. Because he is a psychopath. And we're still calling him Mr. President. Where's the wall, asshole? Who's going to build the wall? Mexico! Say it again, monkeys. Mexico! What about Hillary? Lock her up! Say it again, monkeys! Lock her up! Jesus bleeding Christ. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.